All right. I'm here today with Ben Thomas. He is the author of Jack Be Quick. It's a horror slash thriller that's coming out May 9th. And we're super excited about it. And we're excited to talk to Ben today. And we wanted to talk a little bit today about writing while having a day job. I think most writers are in that situation where they work and they write on the side. So one of the cool things about this book is that the main character is a paramedic. And you, Ben, used to be an EMT, correct?
Yep.
So how similar is that to being a paramedic, and how similar was your life to that of your main character?
First, I want to say I hope a lot of other writers have a day job, because if they all have lake houses and I don't, I'm doing something wrong. But no, so yeah, I was a volunteer EMT for a couple of years, and that was on the ambulance. And then I worked as an emergency room technician for like 6 or 7 years after that. And it's like the EMTs are like a paramedic, but a paramedic's a step up, so they carry medications. EMTs don't administer medications, at least in Connecticut. Different states have different statutes.
Okay.
But they don't carry medication. They don't do certain things that only paramedics can do, like intubation. So if a patient's not breathing, putting a tube in their throat to mechanically ventilate them, that kind of stuff. So it's a higher level of care. They work together. So if an ambulance gets a really critical call, the EMTs generally will go first, and the paramedics come after or concurrently. And as far as me being like Noah, seeing as he's addicted to painkillers, I hope that much like him.
Did you ever drive the fly car or
not a fly car, the ambulance a bunch of times. So we would take turns. The ambulances are usually staffed with 2 EMTs, a driver and a tech. And then a lot of towns or bigger towns have ambulances that are just paramedics, or even fire departments, because a lot of fire departments handle medical calls. So their career firefighters will be paramedics too. But fly cars are just like for rural towns. They're like stationed out of a hospital, and it's a medic that responds to calls in like numerous areas.
Okay, interesting. So obviously your jobs in the past have inspired this novel. And I've heard a lot of people say that even if you can quit your day job, even if you have that lake house and don't have to work anymore, you can be a full-time writer, that you should keep it because you have interaction with interesting people and you get inspiration from it. Have you found that to be the case for you?
Yeah. I mean, I like my job now, so if anyone watches this who's there, don't worry. I like you guys, and I don't want to go anywhere. But I mean, who doesn't want to not work anymore?
Yeah.
But I've talked about it with people, and even my girlfriend and stuff, and we always said, if you could, or if you won the lottery, or if you ever made it huge as writing or any kind of career like that, I think you would either have to work part-time or do a lot of volunteer work or something, because it's kind of get boring after a while, just sitting around doing nothing.
Yeah, being in your own head all the time.
Right.
Do you find that your job affects your headspace at all? And how does that affect your writing?
It affects my headspace because when I'm at work, I focus on work, and when I'm at home, I focus on home. I'm very, so I don't do clinical work anymore. I work administration, and that's a whole nother story. But I'm very work-life balance, and it's, when your day ends at work, your day ends at work. Like, there's no work email on my phone. There's nothing like that. And when vice versa, when I'm at work, sure, sometimes I daydream during board meetings, but for the most part, it's you focus on work while you're there. So when you're at home, you don't have to think about it.
Interesting. I've heard some people say that if they use different parts of their brain, then they, for example, in administrative, I would imagine you write more than you did as an ambulance driver. Does that cut down on your desire to write when you get home, or does it?
No, because it's a totally different kind of writing. I mean, I write policies and procedures and that kind of stuff. But I kind of, full disclaimer, I kind of bounce around jobs a lot because I don't want to say I get bored, but I just want to do something else. And I was always talking to Erica, like if I ever did quit work to write, full time or whatever, I would be nervous I'd end up hating it. Like I hated a lot of jobs I've had. So I would hate to ruin something like that.
Yeah, that's interesting. Do you write in the mornings or at night or on the weekends, or how do you find that works for you?
Night. I've tried. I mean, it's really any time. I like Saturday morning, to be honest. Is probably the best time. Okay. Saturday morning. I try to write every day, so normally it's 500, 700 words in bed with the TV on or something. Okay. But I go to work. I'm up at 5 to go to work, so getting up any earlier than that to write, I probably would.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. In your writing career, what are you looking forward to most?
I'll be psyched when the book comes out, because it kind of hasn't hit me yet that it's happening. Yeah. I mean, it should, because it's a month away and we've been working on all this stuff and it's been this amazing project. But I don't really. I hate to say I don't know, but I don't have like a set thing I want to do. I'm kind of just, I started writing short stories and I really wanted to get some short stories published, and I don't have a lot of luck with them. But I finally got a professional sale done, and then I was like, okay, I should try to do something longer. And I do like writing longer stuff more, but it takes longer, so there's always that. Yeah,
the payoff is farther out.
Yeah.
So are you working on any longer projects? Are there any projects you want to tell us about that you're working on now?
I'm working on longer projects. Hopefully it becomes a novel, but it's probably around 3/4 of the way of a rough draft. It's more horror, like spectral kind of horror, ghost town, hiking in the mountains, stray dogs, lots of lying, that kind of stuff. And then I recently read Agents of Dreamland, the novella. And I know novellas are kind of like really picking up now, so I've tried to read more of them, and I do have to say I really like them, so I kind of want to try to do one, but I, again, don't have a lot of luck with short work, so I don't know if that's going to go anywhere or anything.
Okay. Interesting. I like that you keep trying new things and trying to see where it fits. Just putting you on the spot, do you have any advice for writers balancing work-life, responsibilities with writing?
Don't drive yourself insane trying to do both. Like, do it when you have time. If you come home and you may have a few things to do, but you're really in that mood to write, just sit down and write. The chores will wait till tomorrow. And vice versa, if you come home and the last thing you want to do is look at the screen, don't do it, because what you write is going to be garbage.
Okay.
And I know I'm going to start a war with that, because everyone's going to say, get something on paper, because something is better than nothing and you can edit it later. But for me anyways, and it's such an individual thing, I'd rather be in the state of mind where I want to be doing it than kind of forcing it.
Yeah. How long did it take you to write Jack Be Quick?
It's been about, I think, from right now, it was picked up in October. So from right now, it's been about 2.5 years. Okay. So from when I sent it out, maybe 1.5 years or so.
So decent amount of time. Well, that's good advice. Take your time and do it right, and don't worry about it. Okay.
Yeah, and that's part of the thing about writing full time, because once you do, you have deadlines and you can't take your time.
Yeah.
It scares me.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's interesting. All right. Well, thank you. We're excited to see what your book does with balancing your interesting EMT life with your prose.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay. Thanks, Ben.
Yep.
Okay.